Welcome everyone to our webinar called Leveraging Increased Demand, Unlocking Business Opportunities in China. My name is Christina Kohler-Colucci, and I'm honored to be your guide today as we explore the remarkable opportunities that China has to offer. China is not only one of the largest economies in the world, but also a rapidly evolving landscape that holds immense potential for businesses ready to adapt and thrive. Throughout this session, we'll uncover strategies for establishing a business presence in this dynamic market and how Woodburn can be an invaluable partner in this endeavor. Before we get started, however, I would like to briefly introduce who we are. Woodburn Accountants and Advisors is one of China and Hong Kong's most trusted business setup and corporate administration advisory firms. We are specialized in inbound investment to China and Hong Kong. This means that 100% of our clients are foreign investors that are looking to set up subsidiaries in either China, Hong Kong, or even in both jurisdictions, depending on their business models. Our objective is to eliminate the complexities of corporate administration in both of these jurisdictions. Our services range from trademark registrations to employer record services, all the way through to implementing business models and incorporating entities, structures in both of these jurisdictions. This is then complemented by our ongoing administrative services, which entails everything from bookkeeping, accounting, to cash flow management, bank management, tax management, tax declarations, payroll, all the way through to corporate governance. Now, each of our clients has different financial commitments, different risk commitments coming into the market. So our objective is also to tailor make these solutions depending on our clients' needs, wants, and ultimately their goals. To briefly introduce who I am, as I mentioned, my name is Christina Kohler-Colucci. I'm the head of business advisory at Woodburn Accountants and Advisors. My day-to-day job for the last 22 years has been focused on inbound investment, specifically into China, although I do advise as well in Hong Kong. My focus has been on corporate services and corporate compliance from our Shanghai office. And I've helped over these last 22 years, over 850 companies with their market entry strategies, so managing their pre-investment strategies, all the way through to implementation, and ultimately through our ongoing administrative services, helping these clients to grow and scale. If you would like to connect with me, there is my WeChat QR code. Please don't hesitate to connect. You can also email me at christina@woodburnglobal.com or check out our website to find out more about what we do. So let's get cracking. Today, we're diving into an extensive exploration of China's economic landscape, which currently stands as the world's second largest economy. Now, what does this mean for international businesses? Simply put, it signifies vast opportunities. But to seize these opportunities, we must understand market demand. This is the heartbeat of any successful business strategy. Recognizing consumer behavior patterns is essential for tailoring your approach to meet the needs and desires of the Chinese consumers. And in this presentation, we'll discuss how demand correlates with the establishment of business entities. And I'll highlight the range of services that Woodburn provides to support then your success in China. Now, I encourage everybody who's watching this live, or even those that are watching this on replay, take some mental notes or jot down any questions you may have as we progress. In the end of the day, this is not a very long presentation. I think a lot of you know what you have to think about in terms of market demand, how to leverage increased demand in China. The goal, however, for me today is to give you the information or the insight, the triggers, as to why, when you have an increased demand, whether that might be in the volume or the value of your business, you may want to consider then to establish an entity in China. This is a question that I get asked a lot. What is the trigger for me? So The first thing we're going to be looking at is understanding market demand in China. And obviously, China has seen remarkable growth over the past few decades, significantly impacting global markets. Now, although GDP trends have decreased over time in China, they are still relatively high and impressive compared to other European slash Western nations, right? And obviously, China is focused on continuing an upward momentum, an upward trend, and that we are seeing this actually particularly through new laws, new regulations, new incentives that are coming through. And there's a significant push in regards to the middle class, whose obviously their purchasing power is transforming the way we all look at consumer markets. Now, in today's presentation, I am looking at the consumer markets as a whole. This is actually for us our main niche. The tendency is we help consumer brands, consumer companies with their market entry and their growth in China. But you can kind of take the understanding of this presentation if you are solely manufacturing in China or doing outsourced manufacturing in China. Even if you are providing services locally in China, you can kind of take the concepts away with you. So let's break down the sectors that are experiencing heightened demand. So the first is consumer goods. We see a growing appetite for luxury items and sustainable products. The big question is, how can your business leverage on this trend? For example, consider the preferences of the youth, the growing importance of ethically sourced goods. The second is technology and innovation. China aims to lead in tech advancements. We've seen that all now with the Seek AI. If your business operates in technology, what cutting edge solutions can you offer to capture this evolving market? In education and training, investment in quality learning experiences is paramount. Companies offering educational resources can find significant growth opportunities. Parents are looking to provide a westernized education training to their children. And the fourth is health and wellness. As Chinese consumers prioritize preventative health, the demand for wellness products is skyrocketing. Think about how your products could align with this shift towards healthier lifestyles. And it's clear that knowing these trends within your sector opens the door for businesses that want to align their offerings with the market demand. So let's keep these trends in mind as we move forward, looking at why increased demand triggers the entity establishment. Now, why is this also critical? The surge in market demand often drives businesses to establish a local entity in China. Sometimes I think that's already too late to be establishing an entity, but I understand that for a lot of foreign investors, it's a risk to go into China. It's a risk to put in capital investment. It's a risk to put in more time commitment. I have a lot of clients who just want to delegate when they go to China. They want to delegate to distributors, to sales representatives, etc. But the growth rate when you delegate is not going to be as high when you start doing things in-house. So first of all, having a localized presence allows businesses to tailor their services specifically to Chinese consumers, responding swiftly to their needs and their preferences. And this direct engagement not only fosters deeper customer loyalty, but also enables you to collect real-time feedback. If you are delegating, you have this middleman who you are reliant on to give you all of this information, and they may not be giving it to you in real time in order for you to then pivot and shift as needed. Localization can involve adapting market strategies, launching specific products, or even providing customer service in native languages. Now, I want you all to think about your brand and how might establishing local operations enhance your customer relationships and provide that competitive edge. Local entities can also efficiently navigate the regulatory landscape. Building local compliance systems also can save time and resources, ensuring that you secure essential licenses without the unnecessary delays of going through the middlemen as well. And don't forget market research and insights. When you are delegating to individual representatives that are working for a third party. They are going to have multiple clients that they are servicing, not just yours. Meaning that when business is ongoing and transactions are appearing, they're not going to be looking specifically at your industry and sector and what's happening in terms of trends, competitive landscape, consumer feedback. And again, they might not be offering this all to you in real time. All right. So think about your strategic positioning, because this really allows your business to thrive in this complex environment. And what I want you all to take away from today are certain questions that you should dwell upon, which is, for example, how does your current strategy align with these concepts? Okay. So why does increased demand trigger entity establishment? Because really you have a market presence and responsiveness. That means your consumers, your clients, whoever they might be, know that you are there in the same time zone and you are on the ground. And these are individuals that are working full-time for you. Clients know when you're using third parties, when you're using distributors, etc. We even had clients who used a distributor locally in China who didn't even train their clients on the appropriate way of utilizing the technical instruments that were being purchased. In addition to that, over a 2-year period, they were also realizing that the distributors had no idea on how to sell the higher valued products because they didn't have the technical knowledge. So by bringing in people on the ground who are there to train the locals, but immediately in time, is critical to be able to then grow your business. Don't underestimate customer relationships and supporting those customers. Again, not every 3 months or 6 months when you're traveling into China, but immediately when there are issues, right? Market research and insights always will help you to develop and pivot your product range. And obviously the regulatory landscape, I mean, I see it, I'm a corporate service provider. The regulatory landscape changes constantly. My clients always expect me to be on top of their industry and their sector. I can't. I'm a corporate service provider that services multiple industries, right? I can't be an expert in every single industry and sector and know what is happening in every industry and sector. Only if you have people on the ground that are working for you full time will they have that expertise. So it's something, again, to think about in terms of these triggers, right? Now, just to reflect a little bit, right? I've had clients who've come to me and said, I have a distributor, he's not reaching the KPIs that are input in our distribution agreement. What should I do about it? Okay, well, I mean, the answer is not complicated. You got to hop on a plane, fly over there, and ask him, why are you not reaching the KPIs? Is it because I'm not providing you enough support? Is it because you're not really interested in my product and therefore not spending too much time on it? Is it because consumers don't like it? What is the situation? Because in the end of the day, you are spending money, right? Servicing these distributors to sell your products without getting the results that were actually indicated within the agreements set up. So you've got to make this effort, right? Even though people always say, Christina, I just want to delegate. What's the point of going all the way to China if you're just delegating? Okay. I understand that you might need to get your foot on the ground, might need to grow, etc. But really, if you're going to take the market seriously, then take that plunge and move forward. Now, what are the key trends that are impacting market entry? And these are the 3 trends that we are seeing. So truly, by understanding, by adapting to these trends, can your business not only thrive, but also survive in China? And as you consider these factors, take a moment to reflect on how they align with your business objectives. So several key trends are, for example, the e-commerce growth. China has one of the highest online shopping rates globally with a rapidly growing digital marketplace. Is your business prepared to compete in that e-commerce arena? Obviously, a robust online strategy can lead to significant growth. I am not a marketeer. By all means, I am also not a TP partner by any shape or form. It's just what we are seeing on the ground. You need to have this online presence, if you will. And we're also seeing not only this trend for B2C, we're also seeing this trend for B2B. Now, sustainability is a big trending term at the moment. Today's consumers are increasingly conscious of sustainability. So the big question obviously comes, how can your business integrate eco-friendly practices? When you are producing your products, are you marketing the fact that they are produced in an eco-friendly way? I have a friend of mine who actually sells fleece products, fleece textiles, clothing, apparel. And I just saw actually an Instagram post from her that she has utilized 8.5 million plastic bottles in the last 10 years in order to be able to produce her fleece products. This statement alone is a huge marketing advantage when you are going into the Chinese market. This is something that everybody is looking to say, I am wearing eco-friendly items. I am using eco-friendly products. And then the aging population, do not forget about them. With a significant portion of the population aging, what products or services can your business provide that caters to that unique need, right? Obviously, opportunities in health and wellness for seniors are expansive. But again, with a little bit of creativity, do not underestimate this aging population either. So from all of this, are there specific areas where your offerings might be adjusted, might be enhanced? And again, consider the potential for collaboration with local partners to maximize your market impact. And again, you can't do things alone. Build up that ecosystem of local partners that you can turn to if you need advice, or if you need to do marketing collaborations with, etc. I did say this wasn't going to be a very long presentation because ultimately we're looking at leveraging the increased demand of your products and unlocking the business opportunities that exist right now in terms of the latest trends. But the key for me, obviously, because I intertwine this with my services, is what is that trigger for you to have further growth and scale even larger by actually having an entity on the ground, having a team on the ground that can support you. And when I say team, a lot of people immediately think a team of 10 and 20 people. No, you can even start off with a team of 1 or 2 people to help you grow that business. I had a client, a consumer brand, who delegated everything to a distributor. And finally, they hired a China manager sitting in the UK to analyze the business. And they did a SWOT analysis, understanding what are the strengths and weaknesses of this distributor. And when they found out what the weaknesses were, they then implemented a team of people, first through the employer of record scheme, and then eventually by establishing their own entity, so that they focused on the weaknesses of the distributor, focused then on the marketing aspects and market analysis and things like this. Because really the distributor's focus was on trade, right? Warehousing. Acting as a fulfillment center. That was really their expertise, right? It wasn't the marketing, it wasn't the brand penetration and the brand growth. So they built up that team. Eventually, over time, they did establish their own entity in order to take over that trading, but still continue to use that distributor for logistical purposes. So there's always ways of adapting and pivoting. So how can Woodburn help you? Well, there are 2 areas that we can assist. One is in incorporation services, obviously at the moment that you're ready to actually establish an entity and start bringing things in-house, we can guide you through all the paperwork and formalities and provide you also with that pre-investment support in terms of how to structure that entity. Then it's obviously all the ongoing compliance and regulatory support that we offer in terms of accounting, tax, payroll, and any other things that would be needed. So just to finish off today's presentation in terms of conclusion, we all know that the Chinese market presents a wealth of opportunities for foreign businesses who really are willing to adapt and respond to the unique needs that are there. And today we've discussed how critical it is to establish a local presence, not just for market access, but for really building meaningful connections with third parties, with consumers, and building that legitimate on-the-ground presence. Now, again, just to reiterate, a local entity significantly enhances your adaptability in a fast-paced market and fosters also loyal customer relationships. Don't assume that consumers are not going to check you out and see whether you truly are in China. Now, in terms of what we can do for you, again, if you want to have a discussion on your strategy, on your business model, what triggers you should really be focusing on, there can be many. Don't hesitate to reach out. Happy to support you in that step. Many of you might not be ready yet because you're still in the very, very early stages. But really, when you are leveraging that increased demand, that's where you need to evaluate what the next steps are for you. I always want to end today's presentations with this quote: remember that entering and operating in China can be a really rewarding journey with the right preparation and the right strategies. So I do want to thank you all for your attention. I hope the presentation shed some light on what is happening in the market, and I hope you got some actionable insights on how to proceed. If you do have any questions or topics that you'd like to discuss further, you can email me. I'm going to provide a recording link to this, and you can check out my email, which is christina@woodburnglobal.com. You can also go to our website. On the Contact Us page, there's a formula that you can fill out, and we will then get back to you and help you with making sure that you thrive and strive in China. There are no questions that have popped in, and I didn't get any questions in the application forms, registration forms, so I will leave it there. And again, we can always take it off camera in case you guys want to discuss one-to-one. Thank you all for joining me, and for those of you that are watching on replay, the offer also stands if you would like to reach out and speak. Take care and goodbye.